in 2000. I started Crumpin' in 2003 in its core stages. Crump is still fairly new though. It's still making a lot of progress. But what I will say about Crump and its connection with the B-Boy movement is its intensity level, I want to say, and its spiritual connection, I want to say, with the movements that B-Boy has with Crumpin', whether it be like he said your six step with our buck hop, or your baby with our chest pop and our arm swing. So our same intensity level, aggressiveness, our strength that you guys have in your movement is something that we have in ours as well. So it started out here in South Central, and we're still making, progress with it. And I'm glad that Asia One connected me with this, to be on the panel, to be able to speak about our movement in connection to what you guys got going on as well, because we are represented in the same way. We're all connected, it's just a different approach. So yeah, just happy to be here, and let's get it in.
Much respect to all the panelists, man. That's more what the panel's about, is everybody, really speaking their piece and talking about what their view is on dance and on hip hop culture. And I just want to add something to that. We created this event in '94, myself, Easy Rock, and J Love, out of the necessity for an event. There was an event spend. There actually was nowhere you could really go and dance, especially b-boying. That style of dance was considered by a lot of people played out, and these amazing dancers would go into the clubs. You couldn't even get in the clubs because if they looked at you had fat laces on or belt buckles or Kangos, they'd be like, nope, you're not getting in. So, and then if you did make it into the club and you did try to make a circle, it was immediately bouncers booted you out. And even at that point in time, there was some animosity on the West Coast between the freestyle dance movement and the B-Boys. Because a lot of people, the whack freestyle dancers, and I will say whack because it wasn't the dope ones, the whack ones were saying, oh, you guys still on that 82-ish, SH-ish, and we would just look at them like, well, this is the original dance of hip-hop, so you're saying you're hip-hop, we don't really understand where you're coming from, trying to say what we do isn't valid. So that's one thing that we've all learned through our trials and tribulations. We can all be on the same panel now and realize that it's never about downplaying another dance style to make your dance style look better. So it's not about b-boying, it's not about locking, it's not about popping, it's not about crumping. It's all hip-hop dance at this point. When people say, oh, I'm a hip-hop dancer, you kind of look at them and you're like, okay, well, what exactly do you mean? And usually when they say that, they mean that they're maybe a studio dancer is more really what they mean. So this panel is really just to deal with these dance forms, give everybody their equal respect, and say, at this point in time where we're at, 2010, nobody's hating on nobody anymore with this whole dance stuff. And that was, again, that's why we started the summit. There was nothing at that point for us. We didn't have a place, so we decided to do an event. And we said, why not? We can make our own platform. You know what? We're going to invite our own legends. And we're gonna do what we should do, because nobody's gonna do it for us, right? That was the mentality then. If it's not there, you're gonna build it. Nowadays, there's a lot of events. It's almost event saturation. And that's what I want to talk about on the panel. I've recently realized that there's a lot of events out there that are promoting these really big competitions, cash prizes. $81,000 in cash prizes. Hey, I know we're all dancers, we're all entertainers, everybody needs to make money. We're all here because we love to do this, but it would be great if we could earn money at these battles also. But what's come to light is there's a lot of these promoters that are promoting these events and not paying these cash prizes. And we as a community need to, first of all, not support these style events, and also demand more out of these event promoters. We were talking in the car earlier, if you're promoting an event and you're an event promoter, you're providing a service. You're a service provider, and you need to service your community. So if you're not servicing your community, the community needs to not support what you do. And we need to take a firmer stance with that as the hip-hop dance community with these events. It's great that there's a plethora of events, but let's not get it to the point where there's so much saturation that there's no good in it anymore. It's like, oh, I'm going to this event. Oh, tomorrow I'm going to this event. Next day I'm going to this event, and nobody remembers anything. We can't sell DVDs anymore because people don't buy DVDs because of YouTube. So it's made it harder to kind of keep this whole thing going in a way, because people just want instant saturation and instant satisfaction. And I want to touch on that with the panelists. Does anybody want to talk about that? Unfortunately, our two other mics are not working correctly. So I'm going to just pass the mic around. Does anybody want to touch on what they're feeling about events, organized competitions, battles? Are they good? Are they bad? Are they hurting the scene? Are they helping the scene? What does any of y'all feel? Touch it, touch it.
All right, so I'll speak because recently I was the one that put together the Skill Methods anniversary. I see the downside with like us not being able to make DVDs because they don't sell anymore because of YouTube. So we gotta get proactive. Like it's the same. Are we gonna complain about the situation or are we gonna do something about it? So I figured, you know, like I know the current situation financially in the nation is bad, let alone like B-boy lifestyle. So I said, all right, we're gonna charge $15. That's $1 for every year we contributed. That's fair. We're still getting complaints about that. But I wasn't gonna change because I feel that's fair. I wasn't gonna charge extra for cameras because iPhones got cameras, Blackberries got cameras, and honestly, we weren't gonna make a DVD. It's tedious process to do that. So I said everybody could bring their cameras. I don't care, like it makes my job easier. Put out the footage right then and there, you know what I mean? Like let's just share, because that's what our current situation is with events. You know what I mean? As much as some of us may need to make a DVD to make some profit to do the event again next year, that's just not the way things are today with YouTube and Vimeo, etc. So we gotta get proactive and use it with its positive side. It has a negative side, so are we gonna focus on everybody seeing everybody's styles and biting everything, or are we gonna say, well, let's use it for its positive, you know what I mean? So for some time now, I've refused to speak so much about the negatives rather than to do something about what I think could change. Our scene, like hip-hop in general, is self-destructive, especially in B-boy. I just came from IBE. I was next to LNS, who to me is an absolute legend pioneer. There was an incident that happened where Lilu came out after Ness and did this set, crazy, like futuristic moves. And someone made a clip of just that on YouTube, and the power that has for positive and negative, they decided to make that section and say, Lilu killed LNS. Of all the things that happened that weekend, of all the things that happened in that battle, right? But check this out, let's break down that situation. Because I'm gonna speak on it rather than type on it. LNS is a New Yorican who dances like a New Yorican. Lilu is a French African descendant who dances like an American from New York. And when he came out, he made fun of LNS and the B-boy style, and then further went on to not do anything B-boy related. And the scene, us, the community, as a whole, the majority of the people that supported and commented on that clip was supportive of that he killed LNS. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing, y'all? Like, what's our scene coming to? Like, let's break this shit down, you know what I mean? Like, let's call it like it is. We got one person left, like one of the few people left that's preserving this dance to the way it's supposed to be, and the majority of the people agree that some new jack who doesn't do it the way it's supposed to be killed him. Come on, y'all, get with it, you know what I mean? Like, talk about it, how this shit is, how it's supposed to be proactive, be positive, support it, and carry it on to the next level, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I'm gonna start backwards from what I was thinking in my head, but he just showed how much power we have in the palm or the fingertips. This is a new age, and anybody can get on the internet and write anything they want. So let's get on there and write something positive. Let's get behind the events. Because when we started this event, there was a need for this event. It's not so much a need for a lot of the events now, except to put money in the promoter's pocket. Now, if it's for entertainment, then that's great. You know, you wanna go shopping, you buy a new pair of sneakers, buy a new outfit, go to a jam and support, especially your local jam. Don't sit and talk crap about it, say how much they charge and blah, blah, blah. I mean, if it's an out of, you know, unreasonable amount, then that's one thing. $15 is nothing. Some events are $5. Come on, it's like, pull that money out.
Some events are $100.
There you go.
You know what I'm talking about.
But break it down and before you talk mess, break it down in your head and think, is it realistic? Okay, is it a weekend event? What do I get with that? Okay, well, maybe $100 goes a long way. Maybe it doesn't. You know, when we started charging for this summit one year for like $40, you got a t-shirt, a tape, a DVD, a sticker pack.